Okay, everybody, we're getting a little bit of a late start recording here. I've been chatting with everybody. I've already got my other camera set up here above my craft table. This is the Happy Harvest. My bright, bright light here. Happy Harvest Ruffle Wreath. There was a kit available for this class. If you don't have it, don't worry about it. You can get the sign from Jane's Front Door Decor, or you can use any sign that you want. The reason why this one is really cute for what we're going to be using is because we have this truck ribbon, this really cute truck ribbon with the little pumpkins on it. And I just noticed something. The ribbon that you guys probably got in your kit is darker. You probably got this. And what happened was when I was putting the kits together, this is a cream color and this is more like a natural. What happened was when I was putting the kits together, I ended up not having enough of the truck ribbon. So I had to order more, and I didn't realize that I ordered a cream color, but that's all right. It's gonna look fine. It'll be fine. Dawn, you got the kit, right? So
I did.
Good.
And
So
I'm
this
super,
is
super excited.
Huh?
And I'm super excited.
Yay! Tisha, what you're going to notice is Zoom defaults to something called speaker view. And what that means is whoever is speaking, the video will switch to their camera. If they have their webcam on, you're going to see their face. If they don't have their webcam on, you're going to see like a black screen with a camera with a line through it. That just happens. But typically I'm going to be the one, talking, so you'll be able to see me 99% of the time. So this is going to look really cute with this sign. Again, my classes really are more about teaching the method and not so much the color mesh you choose or the supplies. Here's the other ribbon that we have. I like to usually use a 2.5 and 2 1.5, but we had a little bit of a, not really a problem, but when I ordered, when I was choosing the ribbon for the kit, I had originally chosen this 1.5, and then I had this 1.5, which is sort of like a pretty harvest ombre, and I didn't have this. I had the truck ribbon and I had the pumpkin ribbon. And then when I got this from my supplier, I thought, I don't really know if I like that much, because it seemed like it was a little bit too bright for all these rustic colors of the ribbon. So I gave everybody a choice. I said, look, this ribbon is going to be perfect because of the sign. The sign is like almost identical to this ribbon. And then I had some people that kind of still like this ribbon and some people that like this. So I just sent everybody both. So we kind of have extra ribbon for this class tonight, and I'm not quite sure how I'm going to work with that. So I have actually 3 2.5, including the truck, and I have 2 1.5. But we're going to worry about that after we get our mesh on, and we'll figure out what we're going to do with that. Like I said, I like to have 2 1.5 and 2 2.5 because it just looks better together. All right. What I did is I took 10-inch mesh, and there's a bunch of different ways you can attach 10-inch mesh. You can cut it different ways, I guess. Let me just mute everybody here. Whoops. This is a method that I use, I guess, semi-frequently. These are 30-inch pieces. These are really long, okay? There's a couple of nice things about having really long pieces of mesh. Typically, if I'm doing a ruffle wreath, I'll do 2 either 15-inch tie or 15-inch pieces, or sometimes I do 18-inch pieces, sometimes I do 10, just depends. And when you cut them shorter like that, you have to do 2 per tie just to make a fuller wreath. When you have 30-inch cuts like this, it saves you time cutting your mesh because you're doing less cuts. You have bigger pieces. Also, you really only need to use 1 of these per tie because it's such a long piece. It might be a little bit challenging for some people if you have problems with your hands or arthritis to ruffle a really long piece like this. If that's the case, just cut 2 15-inch pieces and just put 2 per tie. you're going to get the same look. But what I like to do is, this is something kind of new that I've been doing. I lay my mesh this way, okay? I take the very end and I just fold it over just a little tiny bit, just to get those cut ends hidden underneath. Then I flip it, and then I start ruffling. And I like to kind of bring it towards me. If it starts to get off track here, just reach up with your hand and straighten it out. And then I just kind of tuck the end in a little bit. And this mesh is kind of thin. So if you had like a heavy foil or a wide foil mesh that's really thick, I really wouldn't recommend doing a 30-inch piece because it's just thicker. It's harder for you to ruffle all that up. But this mesh is pretty thin. I just love this ombre mesh. It's so gorgeous. So there's a 30-inch ruffle. Now if you cut up both pieces of your 10-inch rolls, you're probably going to have some left over. But since I hate to have leftover mesh, I might just go ahead and add more ruffles. We'll have to see how it looks. So we just go ahead and I lay it parallel to the wreath form, starting on the bottom. And I forgot to mention that when I do my ties, this is a 14.5-inch Dollar Tree form. I do 10 ties on the outside. I wrap them around both of these wires, about 4.5 inches apart, and then 8 on the inside. If you want a video on how to do that, go to YouTube and look up Haylo Designs, Haylo, how to make your own work wreath form. She does it exactly like I do, exactly. So honestly, because this mesh is so thin, I might even do 2 per tie. I got to see when I'm done how it looks. I think I have a little cold coming on here. So again, just take the very end, lay it so the curl side is up. See how it's curling up? Just fold the end over a little bit. This is just something, like I said, I started to do recently because I hate frays. And I do use the wood burning tool, and I still get some frays with the wood burning tool. All mesh is going to fray. It doesn't matter if you spend $10 for a roll of mesh or $2, it's going to fray. Now, when I lay my next one down, I don't like go on top of the one before it. I try to lift it up out of the way so they kind of push each other up and you get that nice ruffled look. Just kind of spread it out a little bit, just like that. Easy peasy. I love ruffles. I could do ruffles all day long. I'm not a big poof fan, but we did the last 2 wreaths we did in class were poof wreaths, and we added ruffles, and they came up pretty darn nice. My new craft table is done. I have my friend's husband made me a new craft table, and I cannot wait to get it. It's going to be a little bit longer. My table is wide enough. It's just not long enough. I'm so excited. So again, just sort of let the ruffles push each other up a little bit. And like I said, I'm going to see how it looks when I'm done doing 1 per tie. And if I have mesh left over, which I'm pretty sure I will, I may go ahead and add another one. Because like I said, this mesh is pretty thin. It's really pretty. And I like to try to straighten it out when it's in my hand a little bit. Like if you have too much on one side, just kind of adjust it before you put it down. And these are Dollar Tree ties or pipe cleaners, and I don't really like to use those that much because when I put my pipe cleaners on, I tend to really pull on them to get them tight so they don't slide, and I've had them snap on me a lot because, you know, they're Dollar Tree. This is all I had right now in the orange. I ran out of my regular orange. Did everybody say hi to Tisha? She's new. This is her first class here.
Hi, everybody.
So
Hello.
they're probably all busy working, or they can't find their unmute button. Tisha, have you made a ruffle wreath like this before? I'm not even quite sure what, you know, I've got some members that have never even made a wreath before, and I've got some that, you know.
You're talking to a member that's never made a wreath before. My
Really?
thing is shirts.
Oh,
My thing is vinyl. So
really?
that's what I.
Okay.
Yes.
So, I mean, you can stop me if you're confused, if you have questions or anything. I mean, I certainly don't mind. You know, we have people from all, you know, levels here that, you know, have made wreaths before. Some people have never even heard of deco mesh before. So you've never even made a deco mesh wreath, or just a wreath period? I'm not trying to call you out. I'm just.
No, it's fine. No, I've never made a wreath period. I have wreath forms and I have some deco mesh, but I've never attempted it yet. And I'm like, okay, let's get going on this.
Let me tell you something. Once you get the hang of it, it's so easy. Do you have like 10-inch mesh, or like, I know a lot of people it's not really a mistake, but I know when I first started, all I bought was 20-inch. I'm sorry, 21-inch. But you know,
21-inch. I have several rolls of 21-inch. I have some rolls, some 10-inch rolls. So we've got quite a bit of stuff.
This is my favorite method for 10-inch is ruffles. It's definitely my favorite method. Like I said, typically I'll do either 15-inch pieces or 18-inch pieces. I try to get the most out of my roll with the least amount of waste. So ideally you're supposed to be able to get 18 20-inch pieces out of a 30-foot roll of mesh. Now, all 10-inch rolls have 30 feet, but in all honesty, nobody makes perfect 20-inch cuts. You're going to have a little bit of waste. So I usually cut mine, like, if I'm not going to do these big ruffles, I'll cut them at like 18, just to make sure I have enough, because there's you want to get at least 18 pieces out of a roll, because you have 18 pipe cleaners on this size wreath form. So
right.
Just, you know, if I'm overwhelming you at all, you know, stop me. But
You're fine, because I can watch replay, right?
of course, I mean, you're going to get the video. Yep, absolutely.
That's the good thing about recording.
And I don't know if you've heard of the wood burning tool. I think you just heard me mention that I use that to cut my mesh. Are you familiar with that at all?
No.
Okay. This is a wood burning tool. It's not supposed to be used for cutting mesh. If people use it for cutting mesh, it's obviously for wood burning. You know, people who do that for a craft.
Solder iron.
What's that?
So it kind of looks like a solder iron.
It is, and it's as hot as a soldering iron. Let me tell you that right now. You got to be very careful. But it, you know, a lot of people don't like to use it because sometimes, because it's melting the mesh as you cut it, and it's helping to seal the edges so you don't have frays. A lot of times you may get a little bit of smoke or odor, and you know, people are sensitive to that, and it's probably not really very good for you to smell burning plastic. But if you want to wear a mask, I honestly have never really had a problem with a lot of smoke or anything like that. But I don't really like to use the rotary cutter to cut my mesh, only because I just get crazy frays. It just drives me insane.
Right.
I remember when I first started, I ripped a whole wreath apart because it just frayed so bad, and I cried. And so someone told me about this, and I use it all the time to cut my mesh. But it's very important, if you're using it, you have to cut on glass. Obviously, don't cut on a plastic table or you're going to set the house on fire. And if you look at a piece of mesh, it's probably kind of hard to tell on this because it's so shiny. But as you're cutting, you have to make sure you cut through the vertical lines. You have to kind of get in between them. And it seems like a big pain in the butt, but it really is worth it in the long run as far as controlling frays. So there's my spiel. There's actually a video. If you go into the video section of the group, I think I filmed it like maybe in January. I did a quick little video on how to use the wood burning tool. So it's on there somewhere. There is a way, you know, typically if you've been looking at YouTube videos at all, for 21-inch mesh, most people will probably tell you, oh, you got to do the poof. You got to do the poof with it. My favorite method, and this pipe cleaner sliding, that's not acceptable. My favorite method for 21-inch mesh is actually a poof ruffle. Excuse me, and I've done classes on that. You actually cut your 21-inch mesh into 10-inch pieces, and you kind of roll it up. It's not really going to work with this. You roll it up, and then you take your 21-inch piece of mesh, and you fold it in half, and you pinch it in the middle. So you have like a ruffle or a spiral on one end and a poof on the other, and it really makes a gorgeous wreath. I had to tighten that pipe cleaner because it was sliding, so that makes me crazy. Because, you know, if you're going to do a poof wreath, I always had an issue with how I just felt like it didn't cover enough. So if you're going to do a regular poof wreath with the 21-inch mesh, I like to add some extra ruffles. I don't know if you saw the picture of my Jack Skellington wreath or the witch wreath that I just did. Those are both poof wreaths with added ruffles. So how's it going, Miss Gina?
I have had to go on my phone right now because I'm having some issues with my internet at the house.
Oh, no.
So I may be popping in and out.
All right, honey.
So
no worries.
But I'll be here.
All righty.
All right.
So like I said, even though I use the wood burning tool, I'm still so crazy about frays. That's why I fold the edge under like that. The less you handle mesh, the less frays you're going to have too. If you know, you're putting it on your wreath form and you're pulling at it and, you know, moving it around a lot, it's just going to start fraying on you. So try to get your piece adjusted before you put it on. Make sure it's even. So that way you're not messing with it too much after it goes on. This one. See, this is why I don't really like to use these Dollar Tree pipe cleaners, because they slide. They don't really stick to the wreath form that well. Once you get everything on, you're not going to have to worry about it. So you know, some people might have an issue with a piece of mesh this big because it kind of seems like it's getting out of control or getting away from you, or like, again, you have problems with your hands. If it's uncomfortable for you to roll up this big, huge piece of mesh, just do two 15-inch pieces per tie, or do two 18-inch pieces. And then when you're putting it on, put your first piece parallel to the wreath form like I'm doing it, and then the next one will go over across, like crisscross. Just trying to slide this piece down a little bit there, because I don't want any gaps. This mesh actually came from Craft Outlet, but I don't think they have any left. And I think that's my fault because I had to make 31 kits, so I ordered 64 rolls of this mesh. So I think when everybody else went to order it, it was all gone. I'm so sorry. I don't know if they got any more in. It's called Harvest Ombre. But there's a lot of other really pretty fall colors out there. I know Dollar General even had like a jute mesh. Jute mesh, Tisha, is actually just poly deco mesh with burlap lines running through it, and I can show you what that looks like.
Okay.
There's actually a video, I can post it, but if you go to YouTube or just Google trendy tree, the differences in poly mesh products, they go through the whole line of different types of mesh. Trendy Tree, if you're not familiar with who they are, they're a supplier. Trendy Tree, Wreath.
Cool.
What's that?
I said I am. They have some pretty cool
Yeah.
Wreath. I've looked at all this stuff and I'm like, okay, I need to do something about this. I really want to do this, but
Yeah. Now this is a jute. You can see that, a jute ombre mesh. So it's just, it sort of looks the same as this. It's not as shiny because there's no metallic in it, but it's got the colors, the fall colors, but that's burlap running through it. The only problem with this is that you can't cut it with the wood burning tool. You cannot cut jute mesh with the wood burning tool. It won't cut through those. So because I'm insane and I hate frays, I get my scissors and I take my time and I cut through the lines with my scissors. Yeah, I know. And then there's fabric mesh. Have you heard of fabric mesh?
no.
This is fabric mesh. It just says Deco Mesh Ribbon because it's from Hobby Lobby. But you probably can't tell by looking at it, but it's very soft. It's actually, it's got fabric in it. That doesn't cut with the wood burning tool either. So, but I'll let you go look at that video because it's very helpful. So I have my first row done. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and do my inside, and then I'm going to see how much mesh I have left, and I want to see, I may go around and put another one per tie. I have to see. Because again, typically, if you're doing, this is what I hate, is when you get to the inside, it wants to curl. Typically, when I'm doing 30-inch cuts, do you know what a lot of people do? Is they get their phone. Here, I'll show you. When you have a piece that really wants to curl on you, they like get their phone or something heavy. With my messy fingerprint screen here. And they lay it on the end just to help it from like rolling up on them. Like I said, typically when I'm doing 30-inch pieces, you really only need one per tie. But again, this mesh is a little bit thin, so we might be able to get away with doing two. I have to see how it looks when I'm done. So now I'm going to the inside, and I'm just going to go following the wreath form again, parallel to the wreath form. And these same ties or pipe cleaners, you hear me say tie, I'm talking about pipe cleaner. You're going to use these to put your ribbon in too. So you don't want to twist it too many times, maybe a couple, just to get your mesh in there, and it's not going to be coming out. And I like my ruffles to be going up, so you'll see me like just sort of puffing them up a little bit when they get to the middle.
So did you say that was 10-inch poly deco mesh?
Yes. This is a metallic mesh. It's got the lines of You can see and you can see some of them come out, and that makes me crazy too. It's very shiny. There's like metallic in there. You can get standard mesh, which has no metallic in it, which looks like this, and it's just not shiny.
Okay.
That's a regular standard mesh. I got all kinds in here. I got all kinds of mesh in here. I got too much mesh. You're gonna find, hopefully you'll be able to control yourself, but
probably not.
one of the huh?
I said probably not. I'm overboard with my vinyl and everything else. So I'll probably be the same way with this.
I definitely have a ribbon obsession. It's just like I see pretty ribbon, and a lot of times I don't even know what I'm going to use it for, but I see it and I'm just like, oh my God, I got to have that. And then it's such a great feeling when you're working on a project and you say, hold on, this ribbon will look perfect. Typically, the way wreath makers design their wreaths is, they'll see a sign or a centerpiece, and then you sort of design your wreath around the sign, the colors and your ribbons. I used to be really bad at picking out ribbons when I first started. I just couldn't figure out how to do it. There's actually an article, if you've heard of Southern Charm Wreaths. If you go to southerncharmwreaths.com, I think it is, she has a color wheel. It shows you how to choose your ribbon colors and so on and so forth for your wreaths. Lots of good resources out there. You're going to also find, Tisha, that when you're working with this, you're going to know what clothing to wear and what clothing not to wear, because this stuff likes to grab a hold of like certain sweaters and certain materials. It like just grabs it. In fact, I had to change my shirt again before I started class, because I remembered that it's one of the ones that the deco mesh likes to grab, so I didn't want to ruin my shirt. I just love those colors. They're so pretty. I need to get my phone again because this is really curly. When you get to the middle, that's what it does. Somebody had their remote. They were using their remote too, the remote control. Any questions you have at all, Tisha, just send me a message. I'll try to get back to you as soon as I can. No question is dumb. Or you could post it in the group. If I can't answer it right away, my members will jump in and help. I have a lot, they're great. They're very helpful. They'll answer questions for me. Lisa Moon does that a lot, right, Lisa? She answers questions for me, and I appreciate that so much. You have no idea. That is you, Lisa Moon, right? I see Lisa's iPad there. I think that's Lisa Moon.
It is. If
See?
I can help, I try to. It's me.
Hi, honey.
How are you doing?
I'm good. How are you? Everybody's very, very helpful. All right, now that's one roll. This is one roll right here that I just went through. So I didn't even make it around the whole wreath form yet. So let me grab my other roll. I know you had inquired about the snowman tomato cage, Tisha.
Yes.
Like I said, the picture that I posted is sort of just like a design idea. That one looks like it's really huge. I've done a lot of things with tomato cages. I'll be honest, I've never made a snowman, but it's just, they're just poofs. It's all it is. And I've made a lot of tomato cage trees using poofs. So, and I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to have everybody, you can purchase the tree toppers, the snowman tree toppers, and we can use that for the head. I'm just going to open my window here. But go ahead.
I went to Lowe's today and bought the 54-inch.
There you go. You better get a couple extra rolls of mesh then if you're going to have a 54-inch tree.
Yes, I bought the biggest tomato cage that they had, and the biggest one was a 54-inch.
Oh, good. So what I would do is I would get at least 4 rolls of 21-inch mesh.
Okay.
If you have extra, then you have extra. But you know what I always say, it's better to have extra mesh than not enough.
Right.
So you can see.
And I think that's what I kind of, for this, want to learn is all the different styles of how to put the mesh on. So
There's a bunch.
I'm sure.
We've done them all. Right, Gina? Is Gina still here? She's having trouble with her internet. I think there she is.
I'm here. Yes, we do all kinds of stuff.
Good.
I don't know how long I'll be on this for now, but we'll see.
All right, honey.
So where do we order the snowman tree topper from?
That's what I'm researching right now. There's a bunch of different places. I don't really want you guys to have to spend an arm and a leg. I know Walmart has snowman tree toppers. I saw it on their website. I just went and looked the other day. They don't have them in the store yet. But if you just Google snowman tree topper, you're going to get a bunch of different options that come up. There are some designer ones. There's a company called Wreath. I'm not sure if you've heard of them before. They make designer Christmas things. Their stuff is expensive though. I think Craft Outlet had one, but it was like $30. It was kind of pricey. The one I think I saw on the website at Walmart was like $12.99 or something like that. Or, you know, you can even just make your own. You know, I was going to get one of the, I know Craft Outlet has the snowman hats. I was going to post a link for that. But if you just want to get like a styrofoam ball, like a 6 or 7 inch styrofoam white ball, and cover it with mesh, you know, so you don't have the styrofoam head there, and just make a snowman face. I mean, you can definitely make your own if you're creative like that.
Oh, yeah, that's an idea.
But, you know, I may just go ahead and order one. Like I said, I'm researching that. I was out all day today, so I didn't get a chance to look into that. That's the thing, and I'm really bad at that, and I feel terrible because I try to post a supply list at least, you know, 2 to 3 weeks in advance. If there's something that I know needs to be ordered online, I want to give you guys time to order it. I'll post those components like first, especially if I know something's going to sell out. So I don't mind when you guys remind me. And for some reason, I don't always get notifications from Facebook when somebody posts in the class listing. It doesn't tell me. So unless I physically stop and I look at the different class listings every day, I don't know if someone's asked me a question on there. So do what you did, Tisha. If you post something in the class listing and it's a couple of days and I don't respond, just send me a message, because the chances are I don't see it. I didn't see it. I didn't get the notifications. Or just post it on the group page, because I do get those notifications. Okay, here's what we have so far. I went all the way around the inside with my 30-inch ruffles. And this is pretty full. This is pretty full right here. Let me look at it. The inside for sure, I think is full enough because you can see how I kind of push these pieces up in the middle. And your inside circle, obviously, isn't as big as your outside circle, so they're going to be closer together. But what I think I'm going to do, I think I'm going to go ahead and I might just add another row of ruffles to the outside, only because I have the mesh and I don't want to waste it. I hate having like extra mesh laying around. I may not do every one. I kind of want to look at it and see.
Hey, Christina,
Yeah.
what I'm doing, because I think mine's sort of full, but I think it needs more. I'm quickly cutting. I had 6 pieces left of the 30-inch mesh.
Yeah.
And I'm quickly cutting it into 10-inch pieces to add ruffles to each one to each tie, because I'll be 18.
Uh-huh.
And that's what I'm doing. So
Well, there you go. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to crisscross this extra piece on the outside. And I think that'll look okay. Yeah, I like that. That looks nice. I just added the extra ruffle over here. And it's not making it too bulky. That's what I was worried about. You have to be careful, and I know this is going to kind of sound silly, how full you make your wreaths, because if your wreaths are too full, your ribbon's not going to lay right. Your ribbon's going to be sticking up, and you're not going to be able to get it to lay, and it's going to make you crazy. So be cognizant of, you know, how full you make your wreath. But I'm just going to kind of go around. I don't think I'm going to put a piece in every tie, maybe every other tie. You know, everybody really has their own way of doing things. I mean, like Gina's doing it her way. I'm doing it my way. You can do it my way. If you decide that, you know, 1 30-inch piece per tie is enough, there you go. I think I'm going to skip that one. I'm going to go over to this one just because I feel like it. If I have mesh left over, I have mesh left over. It's not the end of the world. Like I said, make sure you have enough pipe cleaner left to put your ribbon in. You got to have your something to for your ribbon to attach to. Just gonna make this a little bit tighter. There we go. What time we got here? 10:09. You know, I mailed a customer a wreath the other day, last week, I think. And I know they got it because I checked the tracking number. And they haven't messaged me. So it's kind of one of those things where, like, do I message them and say, did you get the wreath? I mean, I know they got it. You know, you always wonder, are they happy with it? Is it what they were expecting? You kind of want to leave it alone and not say anything, because then it's going to give them a chance to say, well, you know, it really wasn't what I thought it was going to be. I don't know, Gina, what do you think? Should I message her? I'm like afraid to message her and see if she got it. But it seems like she would have messaged me and said, oh, I got it.
I wouldn't message her.
Yeah.
No, I'd leave it alone.
Who's that, Lisa?
That's Gina.
Oh, no, I thought, who just said I'd leave it alone? Who said that?
I would leave it alone. I wouldn't message them. I just leave it alone.
Don't message her?
No, don't message her.
Didn't somebody just say to message her? I'm confused. I thought that
No,
was
I
you,
said
Gina.
I said not to.
Yeah.
I didn't say anything.
Oh, okay, sorry. I was like waiting for her to message me.
If
And
she
say,
didn't
"Oh,
like it, she would have already told you that she didn't like it.
that's true. But I need her to tell me that she loved it, Gina. I need to
Well,
hear
I
that.
know we all want that affirmation, but some people just don't do it.
So it was a wreath that you already did,
Yeah,
completed?
my mama didn't even do it, you know? I mean,
Yeah, it was actually, believe it or not, a fall wreath that I had made last year
Okay.
that I had on my business page, and it didn't sell. And I'll be honest with you, Tisha, I'm so busy with my classes, and I have actually two other groups. I have my regular Need to Read group, which is my free group,
Right.
and I also have another one that I just started because I'm crazy, and I just started to start another group called Wreath and Craft Addicts United. That's for all types of crafts. But anyway, and that's got 3,000 members, and it hasn't even been 2 months. I don't understand why my groups grow so fast. I don't understand. Anyway, Need to Wreath hit 50,000 members too, by the way, Gina, last week. Is that crazy?
because you're awesome, Christina. That's why.
Aw, I love you, Gina. Anyway, so what I was saying, Tisha, I do love you, is I don't really have time to focus on selling. It's crazy because I'm so busy. But anyway, this was a wreath that was on my business page, and all of a sudden somebody just decided they wanted to buy it. Well, it had been in storage, and when I pulled it out of storage, I looked at it and I thought, oh my gosh, I don't like the way that mesh looks. I mean, I made it a year ago, so I basically took it apart and redid the whole thing, and it was ended up being a lot fuller than it was in the photo. So I'm thinking, I wonder if she doesn't like it because it's fuller. I mean, I thought it was gorgeous, but I'm wondering, maybe she's thinking, wait a second, this doesn't look like it. I probably should have sent her a picture, but I mean, I thought it was beautiful. I mean, it looked exactly the same, except that it was just a little bit fuller. I mean, ribbons were the same. Anyway, no, I'm not going to. I'm going to leave it alone. Look how nice and full this is getting now. What I'm doing is I'm going in every other tie on the outside and just throwing another piece in, just because I have the extra here. So, and then I think I'm going to stop because I don't want it to be too full. Plus, we got to get our ribbon on here. And that's the time-consuming part. You think this is the time-consuming part? And I'm not trying to scare you, Tisha, that I'm really particular when I'm putting my ribbon on, so I take my time.
Right.
Now let me see where I'm at here. Do I put another one here? I'm gonna put one. I'll put one here. So what I'm doing, I don't know if you can kind of tell, when I add my ribbon to the outside, I like it to all kind of fan out. So when I'm putting my ruffles on, this top part is sticking up, but I'm trying to get this bottom part to lay a little bit flatter. That way my ribbons will lay flatter when I add them. So this top part of the ruffle is kind of puffed up. This is sort of laying down a little bit. And I did that on purpose, because I want my ribbons to kind of lay nicely around the outside. And I think I'm done. I think I added enough extra here. I can't really tell now. Hold on. I'm going to put one right here, actually. Hold on. Do I have two here or I have one? I'm going to put one right here. Yeah, right there. I'm going to put one. Then I'm going to be done. And these are just things I kind of picked up on my way, you know, on my wreath making journey here, you know. A lot of things you just sort of discover as you're going along. Yeah, I don't want that side down this way. I want this side down like that. Because it's sort of, it's green on one side and it's more orange on the other. So I'm trying to make sure that it's even all the way around here. Yeah. Sometimes you'll get some frays that come off of the seamed edge, the kind that's sewed, that's not cut. That's normal. Okay. So that's that. And that's pretty nice and full. I'm very happy with the way that came out. There's another piece. Just pull that off. I just want to make sure that I have what I said I wanted to do and an extra piece at every other tie, and I think I got it. Okay. So now normally what I do is I put my sign on, and then I add my ribbons. Hold on 1 second here. Sorry for my head. Let me just get a quick drink here. Now, the signs from Jane's Front Door Decor are awesome because they're really light. They're very lightweight. It's almost like a license plate type material. Very, very light. And she'll put little holes on either side for you too. She'll put them wherever you want. She can put them in each corner. You get the option when you order her signs. I typically just get her to drill a hole on either side. That's if you want to put a wire through it. Like a floral wire. You can feed those right through the holes and then attach it to your wreath form. But what I do, and I think you've seen me do this many, many times, is I buy these little sticky things, and I'm almost out. And they're near the cable ties in Walmart, and they're like little squares. If you can see there, there's a little hole in the middle that you can put your pipe cleaner through. And they stick to the back of your sign, and that's how I attach my my sign. Or you can put floral wire through the holes, whatever you want to do. But if you have a
Do you use 2 or 4, Christina?
What's that?
On those little sticky things, do you use 2 or 4?
2. If it's light, I use 2. If it's a heavy sign, I'll use 4. Now, what I'm actually doing is I'm putting a little bit of super glue on here too, just a little tiny dab, just to make sure that it holds, only because sometimes I've had these come off. Not very often, just like a little tiny dot. I'll never ever use E6000 again. Whoop, I put that on crooked. That's gonna stay crooked there because it just kind of flipped down. I have a big gob of glue on my finger now. Lovely. It wasn't meant to go on there sideways, but I dropped it, so that's where it's gonna go. Okay. I used E6000 one time in a tube, and it smelled so god awful. I'll never ever use that again, ever. It's terrible. It's simply awful. I'll just be able to feel it. Yeah, that just kind of like slipped and fell crooked, so that's where it's going to stay.
And it does take a little while. The E6000 does take a little while to dry.
It's forever. I used it on my customer's wreath that I mailed to Florida, and I had to actually wait like almost a week to mail it because it just smelled so bad. So I just take my pipe cleaner and just stick it right through the hole, right there. There's actually holes on either side, and there's holes here. And I just take the very end and I just kind of twist it around like that. I love her signs because they're so light. And then here's the other one. I got a little glue, too much glue on that one. It's not going to go through. Hold on. Come on. How's it going, Dawn?
It's going good. I'm
I'm
wiring
so
my.
glad you didn't have to work tonight.
I know. Well, I took the weekend off to
There you
finish
go.
packing and, you know, all.
Yeah, Dawn's going to Ireland. I'm so jealous.
Yep. We leave Monday.
Oh my God, I'm so happy for you. I'm so excited. All right, so what I do is I sort of just kind of lay it. I like to put my signs in the middle. I know some people kind of like to stick them off to the side and be all fancy, or you could put it down at the bottom if you want to. I kind of like my signs in the middle. So then you just take your pipe cleaners and you kind of have to rustle your way through this mesh. Don't pull it down too hard because you're going to squish your mesh. And I like to try to find one of the crossbars to wrap it around. That way it won't slide down. I don't really ever have an issue with these signs because they're so light. But if you have a heavy sign, there's nothing worse than getting it all tied in and secured, and you lift up your wreath and it slides down, and you want to scream. But I find that if I wrap it around the crossbar, and I'm not going to wrap it around all the way yet because I want to make sure it's straight, it tends to stay where you want it to. If you can't find these cable tie holders, zip tie holders, you can get them online too. They're just really awesome for attaching signs. I love them. Let's see. I don't really have a crossbar. I have that one. That one might be up too high though. Just wrap it around a few times. You can cut off the excess after. Her signs always just hang perfectly for me because they're just so light. Metallic is coming out of this mesh. It's driving me crazy. So there. It's on there. It's not going anywhere. It's nice, and I'll look at my boxes and my bags back there. I've got stuff everywhere in my room. So there's that. Pretty centered. Now we can add our ribbon. Now we gotta figure out what we're gonna do here with this extra. I might not even use this 1.5 inch polka dot. I don't know. I gotta see how it looks. Definitely gotta use the truck ribbon. Let me grab it all. I'm gonna put it on my chair like I usually do, so I can reach it easier. All right, now we have to decide what we're gonna put with what. So I think I'm gonna take this pretty ombre and put it with the truck ribbon. We'll start with that. And I just lay it on top of each other. And these are dovetails, Tisha. You dovetail the end of your ribbon. I'm sure you know what that means.
That I do.
So I fold it in half like that to try to find my center. And I just pinch it like that. I put 2 ribbons per tie. There's a lot of wreath makers out there that like to overload their wreath with ribbon. I don't like to do that. I like to be able to see my mesh, especially when I have a really pretty colorful mesh. Now you're going to see what I mean by how when I laid my ruffle, this is kind of flat here and this is sticking up. I'm going to put the ribbon right inside that little nook. Like that. Give it a couple of twists. And I like them all to be sort of framing my wreath.
Christina,
Yeah.
did I make you feel better about your fall tree?
You did. I just remembered what you said. Oh my gosh, that's so funny. I really have to finish. All I have to do is put the leaves and stuff on it. That's all I have. You know, I didn't finish one of my Christmas ones from last year either.
I've got all my lights and mesh on it, and all my ornaments and stuff are like in a little clear bag right there. And every time I go to that craft room, I'm like, I need to finish that Christmas tree.
Aw. My poof Christmas tree, I mean, all I really did was just put some ornaments on it. That's all I did. I never finished my Christmas ruffle wreath. I never finished that one. So this is the look that we're looking for here. Try to make sure, I always try to make sure my ribbons are even on both sides because I'm crazy that way. Just like that. I like to try to curl them under. So you just reach up here and just sort of curl them a little bit like that. Just like that. I don't use a lot of bows in my wreaths, Tisha. We actually just had Regina Sellers on. I don't know if you saw that. She's the creator of the Pro Bow. I think I may start making some terry bows for my wreaths. I think what my problem is that I like to kind of do my own thing. And it just seems like everybody is doing terry bows. Everybody's putting all these bows on their wreaths. And I thought, you know, I want to be different. You know, I don't have to put a bow on every wreath. You know, I like, because usually by the time I get done with my sign and adding all my stuff, there's really no room for a bow. So here's what I like to do. These are actually 12-inch pieces of ribbon. They're cut at 12 inches. Normally, I cut my ribbons at 13. You can do 12, you can do 13. Some people do 14. I think 14 is too long because it just covers up too much of the wreath. I get some extra pieces, usually of the 1.5 inch, and I'll cut them just a little bit longer. I think these I cut at either 12 or 13, I don't remember, but I didn't dovetail the end. And I just make like a little circle with it and overlap the ends. And then I make like a little bow tie out of it, like that.
Oh.
And it looks so cute. And then I just put that right on top. So I kind of do have a little bow. It's not, you know, your typical big poofy bow. And I put that right on top of my ribbon bundle like that. And because these little pipe cleaners are kind of glittery and they match, you can just sort of like curl them around and you don't really have to necessarily worry about hiding them. That's why I always try to use pipe cleaners that are the same color or sort of the same color. So that's that. That's how we're going to go around the whole outside. But we're going to alternate our ribbons, obviously. Okay. Now I got to figure out what I want to do next here. I do want to use this big polka dot ribbon though. Let me think here what I want to do. I don't really know if I want to use this though. I just don't know. I don't really want to put two polka dots together. I think what I'm going to do is this. Here, I have an idea. I'm going to take my pumpkin ribbon, which is this one. No, I also have, I'm looking at my stacks and stacks of ribbon over here. Bear with me for a second here. I don't want to knock over any of my piles. If you guys knew how much ribbon I had on my table over here, I'm not going to show you because I have a ton. I have this too, but I don't really want to put two pumpkin ribbons, but it is a 1.5 inch. Yeah, that would be too much pumpkin, I think. I really like that ribbon though. I want to see how these look together here. Oh, that'll work. Where the heck is my other tie? Where'd it go? There it is. I take my time when I put my ribbon on. That's why this is, for me anyway, this is the time-consuming part. I gotta look at that for a minute, see if I like that, if I want to use this polka dot ribbon or not. Like I said, I sent this to everybody in the kit. I sent them both kinds, and they could use whatever they wanted to. It's all in what you like and what you think looks good. It's your wreath. What do you think, Gina?
Looks marvelous, darling.
Do you like the polka dot, the little polka dots?
Oh, I've used the little polka dot with my truck ribbon.
Oh, okay.
And then I use the ombre, the one that's ombre. I'm using it with the big pumpkins and with the big polka dots.
So how are you? So are you gonna do like? Maybe I'll do the polka dots in the next one, the big polka dot one.
Yeah, I'm alternating. And I also found some other ribbon that I had that I'm gonna. It's kind of got wheat bundles and pumpkins and leaves on it.
Uh-huh.
And I'm gonna use it too. And then I'm gonna alternate with what I'm gonna use to make little bow ties.
Oh, there you go. So I think I'm gonna do this now with the ombre. I'm gonna do the big polka dot.
That ombre. Where did you get that ombre ribbon? It is beautiful.
Perpetual ribbons from my friend Bobby in California.
That is gorgeous ribbon.
I know, I love it.
Does she have any for like Christmas?
Oh my God, are you kidding me?
I mean, that ombre top for Christmas would be beautiful.
If you go to Perpetual Ribbons, go to her Etsy shop, and you can get a discount if you spend $25 or more. Put in need to.
I'm on restriction.
Oh.
I have a ribbon problem. I'm in a 12-step program.
I know.
And my mom and my best friend have put me on ribbon restriction.
Oh my God.
Yeah, it's pretty bad.
Well, anyway, when you get off ribbon restriction, you can go and put need to read 10 in checkout, and you can get a 10% discount. I think.
Cool.
Yep.
Thank you, darling.
You're welcome, because she's my friend. So this is something I don't normally do. I don't normally use 3 different kinds of 2.5, but this is just how it's working out. So we're going to go with it. We're going to make it work. I forgot to put a bow tie in that one. I got to get a bow tie. Where's my... Gotta have my bow tie. I actually was going to get like a solid, like a glittery, like a bronze colored ribbon, but she was out of it. So then I saw the ombre and I thought, I gotta have that. That's really pretty. I'm going to need to be making a bunch of terry bows anyway, I think, because if I'm going to do that craft show in November, Gina, I want to make a bunch of the candy canes.
Are you going to put cherry bows in your candy canes?
Yes.
Okay.
I think so, yeah. Yep.
Okay. See, I've got 2 craft shows in November.
I think I'm going to do one at the beginning of December, too, actually. I just found that there's another one in December that I might do. So now I'm going to go back to the truck ribbon. But I don't want to use the ombre again, so we're going to be kind of crazy here. I'm going to do the truck ribbon with the polka dot. So, because I don't want to have 2 of these ombres next to each other.
I think that's pretty. With it. I don't know how much does it have left. What did you get from it?
Now I do go in every tie on the outside and put ribbon in it. I don't usually put it in every tie on the inside, only because I don't want to interfere with my sign. So I sort of like frame my sign with the ribbon. And you'll see when we get in there what I mean by that. Whoops. There's actually a wreath maker by the name of Dorothy Barksdale, and you can look her up. The name of her business page is Dottie Dots Bubbly Creations. She makes the most gorgeous wreaths, and she only cuts her ribbons at 7 or 8 inches, so they kind of just like peek up out of the mesh. It's really, really pretty. I was thinking about maybe trying that out and see if I like it. Everybody has their own way. I actually discovered the little bow ties when I was making my candy cane wreath last year, the big one, the big 2-piece one. Were you in the group then, Gina, when I made the big, huge candy cane? Because that's when I first started doing the bow ties.
Yes, ma'am.
That's when I first discovered the bow ties. You made the candy cane, right?
I did.
Yeah, we're doing that again this year. Did you order the kit or no?
I don't know.
I gotta check. I'm just waiting for one more thing I want to add to it, and then I'm gonna mail that one out.
Yeah, if I'm not careful, I'm going to get on kit restriction too.
Yeah. I'm sorry about the sleigh. I apologize. Linda puts together the cutest kits, let me tell you.
My mama is sitting right here. She's helping me with my ribbons. And we're sitting here. We're just laughing and having a good time.
Hi, Mama. I love your daughter. She's a sweetheart.
Oh, I love it. I love her too.
Oh, good.
Thank you, Christine. That means a lot.
Aw.
I couldn't do without her. She's my right arm.
She
What'd
says
you
that
say? I'm
because she's
sorry.
left-handed.
What'd she say?
Mama said she couldn't do without me. I'm a right arm. And I said she says that
Aw.
because she's left-handed.
Oh my God.
I'll shut up now.
I don't have my mom anymore. I miss my mama. I miss her. I was her right hand. She was my whole body.
There's nothing wrong with left-handers.
Yeah. My daughter's left-handed.
No, there's not, but we're always making fun of her. Mama, you have to sit on this end of the table so you don't elbows with anybody.
Oh, jeez.
But see, 3 of Mama's 4 grandchildren are left-handed,
Uh-huh.
which is kind of odd.
I wonder how that's determined. I always wondered
I
that.
have no idea.
I have 3 friends that are left-handed, and when we go out to dinner with husbands and stuff, we all have to. Okay, you gotta sit here. You gotta sit here.
No, I know. Exactly. Yeah, because I get elbowed by my daughter when I sit next to her at dinner if we go out to eat. Which is usually why she ends up sitting on the one side of the booth by herself. All right, let's see what I want to do now. Now I want to go back to the pumpkin. I'm going to do the pumpkin with the ombre. I think this is going to work out. turning it. I want to make sure you guys can see it here. I know what I'm trying to find. For the candy cane kit, I'm trying to find these really cute little candy cane ornaments that I got last year at Big Lots. And I can't find them. They're not selling them again. I went to 3 different Big Lots stores already, and they don't have them. And they were so cute in my candy cane, and I'm so mad that I can't find them. So I'm just going to have to, and that's why I haven't mailed that one out yet, because that's what I was looking for. I think I'm going to have to substitute something else candy themed. I was so mad, and the guy's like, "Well, we have them in silver." I'm like, "No, it's a red and white. It's a red and white candy cane. I can't have silver." He's like, "Okay." I'm like, "No, I can't. It's not going to work." All right, now what do I need? Now I need my truck ribbon again. Okay. I'm talking to myself, Tisha. I do that a lot.
Nope, that's fine.
So now I want to do the truck and the polka dot. This is all a matter of personal preference, what I'm doing right here. You can choose whatever 2 ribbons that you think look good together. A lot of times when I'm designing a wreath, I'll just cut a couple of extra different patterns of different ribbons, because a lot of times I won't know how it looks until I get it on the wreath.
Right.
And I get it on, I'm like, that doesn't look right. And then I toss it and use something else. And you end up having a whole bunch of ribbon pieces that you got to figure out what to do with. That's not going to work because it's upside down. No, I don't think it really matters. No.
The OCD is going to get you.
Yep.
Because it's got me.
My truck ribbon's upside down. I can't have that. I can't have that. Yeah. Another thing I notice is when you're pinching your ribbon together in the middle, you got to be careful that, you're not really bunching it up weirdly. I guess it's the best way to put it, because then that's another thing, that your ribbon won't lay right. If it's bunched up weird in the middle when you're pinching it, it won't lay right. So you guys know those little pieces of wire that kind of come off the ends of your ribbon when you're cutting it? You know what I'm talking about, Gina? Those little tiny pieces of wire that sometimes...
because they stick you and they poke you and they hurt.
I got one stuck in my foot yesterday. I'm like, oh my God.
I have a bone to pick with you, Misty.
Where did I stop by? It was one of those little tiny pieces.
Yeah, well, I have a bone to pick with you.
What?
You use straight pins to hold the ribbon together.
Yeah.
And I
Uh-oh.
dropped one in my kitchen somewhere.
Oh, no.
And I
I
can't
had
find
to
it.
because I ran out of rubber bands. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I'm gonna end up getting impaled, and I'm gonna blame you.
I'm sorry. I was thinking about that. Well, you should have been more careful taking it out so you didn't drop it. Dawn's laughing. She thinks that's funny.
Nothing like getting impaled by a little pokey
Yeah.
Oh, I know. Well, see, I'm on blood thinner though. It makes a big difference to me.
So, okay, so blame me for sending you to the hospital, right? You see how mean she is, Gina's mom? You see how mean she is to me? Anyway. Yeah, I ran out of rubber bands, so you guys have no idea how long it took me to roll all that ribbon. It was crazy. Because I bought 50-yard rolls. I'm never doing that again. Everybody's going to get a whole roll of ribbon in their kit. If I have to charge you a couple extra dollars, then so be it. All right, now what do I need now? I need polka dot. You know what? I should have done polka dot here. Oh no. I got to take this out. See that? I'm like talking away. And I lost my
Pattern.
momentum, what I was doing. I got to do polka dot here. Polka dot in, oh no, I can't do polka dot in polka dot. How did that happen? See, I can't do this. I can't have 3 different kinds of what do you call it? 2.5. It's messing
2.5-inch ribbon.
It's messing me up. We're gonna have to have 2 ombres next to each other. I'm just gonna have to deal with it because I can't put a polka dot with a polka dot. So, Tisha, I never have this problem with ribbon. Usually I just do 2 2.5 and 2 1.5. Everybody's happy, and it's all Gina's fault. Just blame Gina.
Okay. Sorry, Gina.
I'll gladly fall on the sword.
Oh.
It is what it is. Because again, we weren't supposed to have the 2.5-inch with the big white polka dots. We were just going to have the 1.5-inch white with the orange polka dots. And then, like I said, when I got it, I was looking at it and I wasn't quite sure if it matched. So that's where all the chaos ensued. And the ribbon insanity.
Mm-hmm.
That's going to bother me having those 2 ombres together, but I can't look at it. I'm not going to look at it. I want to go back to my truck ribbon and my polka dot. What time we got here? 9:30. Let's see. It's all good. It's all good in the neighborhood. Speaking of that, you guys remember Mr. Rogers, right? I got to ask you guys a question. Mr. Rogers, how do you remember him singing his little song? It's a beautiful day.
In the neighborhood.
In what?
The neighborhood?
In the neighborhood, right? Do you know that that's not correct?
Really?
If you go and you watch his videos, it's a beautiful day in this neighborhood.
Oh, in this neighborhood. Oh.
I don't know about that. You guys, I'm going to totally freak you out right now. But when you get out of class, I want you to Google something called the Mandela effect. And what that is, and my kids think I'm crazy. If they knew I was telling you this, they'd kill me. There's this thing supposedly where a certain number of people remember things from the past differently.
Huh?
A lot of people thought that Nelson Mandela died in jail. Well, he didn't. He didn't. He died afterwards.
Right.
A lot of people think that show was called Sex and the City. It's Sex and the City. A lot of people think that movie with Kevin Costner. If you build it,
They will
they
come.
will come.
Mhm.
It's if you build it, he will come.
Oh my gosh.
Yes. You're gonna Google this and you're gonna lose your mind. So I apologize in advance. It's really, really weird. Remember that vampire movie with Tom Cruise? Remember that with Tom Cruise and Brad Pitt? Did you ever see that? Interview.
Interview with the Vampire?
It's Interview with a Vampire.
Yeah.
Freaky, right?
Yes.
It's just, I don't know. Anyway, all right. I won't talk about it anymore. But it's just crazy how, and I don't really know what explanation they're offering for that either, but it just seems like everybody says, oh, you just remembered it wrong. How can so many people remember it wrong?
Right.
And it never was, it's a beautiful day in this neighborhood. I'm sorry.
I
It
don't
never
remember.
was. So I think they're saying that we sort of like switched dimensions or like realities at some point.
Oh.
I know. All right. Sorry for freaking you out.
I have a
I
question.
told you I talk about crazy stuff during my class. You didn't believe me.
For the snowman, I'm still thinking about it. I don't know why I'm going nuts because there's still a couple weeks to it. We're just going to use 21-inch poly-deco mesh, white.
Yeah.
Just white, right?
What's that?
For the snowman, we're just going to use 21-inch poly-deco mesh.
Yeah, because I'm going to do poofs.
Okay.
You can do it. You can do like we're going to do. You can do Christmas trees like we did our fall tree with ruffles, tomato cage tree. Or you can do poofs. We're going to do poofs for the snowman. And so to do poofs most effectively, you need 21-inch mesh.
Okay.
Sorry, guys. This is time consuming. Hey, Patricia. I didn't see you pop on. Patricia's here. I'm busy rambling. I'm not paying attention to who's jumping on here. That's going to bother me with those two ombre meshes or ombre ribbons next to each other, but I just won't look at it.
Now you're going to lose sleep tonight because you
I will. I actually will. We're actually almost done with the outside here. And then the inside's going to be easy breezy and quick because I don't put ribbon in every tie on the inside, maybe like 2 or 3. And I'm just sort of tucking my pipe cleaner like kind of underneath a little bit because, you know, it matches. It's orange, so it matches my ribbon. So if a little bit of it shows, it's not a big deal. I just didn't want to put a polka dot ribbon with a polka dot. I guess I probably could have, but I can't look at it. What do I need now? I need my orange again, my orange polka dot. See, we're going to have the same problem again. Now, wait a minute. Hold on. Pumpkin, truck, pumpkin, polka dot, truck, polka dot. I'm going to have to do a polka dot with this because I can't do 2 ombres next to each other again, so this is just going to have to be how it is. I don't usually have these sort of ribbon problems, Tisha, I promise you.
No, it's fine.
Because we added an extra kind, so this is what's happening. I don't like
Yes,
them.
she does. Don't let her fool you.
I
That
don't,
OCD.
I don't like those together. I can't use that. I can't do a
See?
polka dot with a polka dot. What do I do,
See?
Tom?
See?
What did I do?
You're OCD. You said, I don't do this all the time. I said, oh, yes.
No, what I mean is I don't usually have issues like this because I don't usually have 3 different types of 2.5 ribbon.
Oh, I thought you were talking about
No, I am definitely OCD. And I do it all the time. She's right.
So
Dawn's watched many of my videos.
So am I, so I know the pain.
But you know, the sombre ribbon is so pretty, so I'm just going to say, I just used it a lot because it's so pretty. If my kids knew that I was telling you guys about the Mandela effect, they'd kill me because they think I'm crazy. No, Mom, you just remembered it wrong. Okay, if you say so. But I have a perfect memory, and it was always, it's a beautiful day in the neighborhood. So that's that. Don't be pulling any alternate reality crap on me. I don't want to hear it. But I definitely believe in that sort of weird stuff. I used to watch The X-Files. I used to watch Fringe. I used to watch all those crazy shows. There was actually just a show on Hulu. If you're a Stephen King fan, it was called Castle Rock. And if you're familiar with Stephen King, you know that that's the city that he based all of his stories out of, Castle Rock, Maine. It was really creepy, and it was sort of like an alternate reality type thing. It was creepy. I didn't like the ending, though. The ending made me mad. All right, now what do I need here? I think we're just going to do, I can't do the truck because there's a truck here. I'm never using 2 2.5 again. I'm just going to go back to the pumpkin because I can't put 2 2.5 or 2 truck ribbons next to each other. It's all good. I'm going to put more truck in the middle. I want to use more of my truck ribbon.
Girlfriend, I'm just about done. And
Well, you're just Speedy Gonzalez here.
well, when I got my mama here, helping me out, kind of made it go faster.
Aw, thanks, Mama.
Yeah, she's leaving, so I'm gonna go in there and watch a football game.
All right, honey.
And y'all have a great evening.
Good night, Gina. See you tomorrow night.
All right, bye-bye.
Good
Bye.
night.
Night.
All right. We're almost done with the outside. This is my last piece. We had a little bit of a hassle here and there, but it worked out. And it really isn't a hassle. I mean, it's just ribbon. Who am I kidding? All the issues going on in the world that I'm freaking out about. Ribbon. Hold on a minute here. You gotta stay in here, buddy. People are starting to drop off like flies here because it's getting late. That's what happens. I gotta start scheduling my classes a little bit earlier. People start falling asleep.
But it's a Saturday.
It is a Saturday. And I've only been up since 5:30 this morning.
Oh.
Because I have a 14-year-old doggie that's kind of a handful because she's got diabetes and she gets up and pees a lot and she needs her insulin and her medicine in the morning and she's blind and she's kind of a lot of work, but she gets me up pretty early. Sometimes she gets me up a couple of times in the middle of the night. So I'm usually, when I don't have a class, I'm usually asleep by 9:30. So hold on a minute. Here's my last bundle out here. And this ribbon's giving me a hard time, this last bow tie here. This metallic is just like coming out like crazy. I hate that when that happens sometimes. All right. Good enough. So you can see how this is kind of time consuming if you're a perfectionist like me. All right, so there's the outside, and you can kind of see how somebody's chatting me. You can kind of see how what I mean by I have all my ribbons going out, so it kind of like frames the wreath. And then you can go to the middle. Somebody just chatted me something. Let me see who that was. Let's see. Whoops. Sometimes I end up pausing the video when I hit the chat button. So, oh, thanks, Patricia. She loves my choice of ribbons and mesh. It's absolutely beautiful. Thank you so much, honey. I can let you know where I got these if you want to purchase the same ones. Okay. I want to use more of this truck ribbon because I didn't end up using too much of it on the outside. So I really want it to stand out. So I'm going to use it in the middle too. Now, again, like I said, I don't put ribbon in every tie in the middle because I don't really want to cover up my sign. So what I usually do is I'll kind of go off to one side here. Now, what I do when I'm putting my ribbon in on the top, I can find some pipe cleaners here. I don't typically go all the way down to the bottom of my pipe cleaner with my ribbon, because what's going to happen is you're going to go down too far and you're going to lose your ribbon.
Right.
You're not going to be able to see it. So it's kind of hard to do. Not really, but you kind of have to like go halfway down your pipe cleaner and then you tie it in. So you're not really going all the way down because you want your ribbon to sort of still be able to lay on the top. And I went down a little bit too far. Hold on. I hope that makes sense. I just go down a little bit, like maybe halfway, and then I tie it. And that way, you can still see the ribbon. Whoops, and it just came right out. That happens sometimes too. But again, like I said, if I went all the way down, it's going to get lost. You're not going to be able to see it. Twist it a couple times so when I pull on it, it doesn't. Just like that. See? So it's kind of framing my sign a little bit. I think I actually have some more of this ombre. Hold on a minute here. I need to cut another piece. Where did it go? I didn't cut enough of it. Hold on one second for me. I need a piece for my bow tie. And there's that. Let's see now. I think I'm going to use the pumpkin too. What do I want to put with it? Somebody's chatting me, but I don't really want to stop what I'm doing just yet to look at the chat message. Just give me 1 second. I want to get this done. We're kind of running out of time here. I'll put one over here. Search for the pipe cleaner. I think that was actually my last piece of the polka dot. So what I might do here, instead of putting a bow tie in there, is I have some little pumpkins. So it's kind of these little fuzzy pumpkins I thought were really cute. So I might put that right in there instead of a bow tie. Isn't that cute?
I like that.
Let me see who's chatting me here. I got a whole bag of those little fuzzy pumpkins. Oh, thanks. Yes, I can do that definitely, Patricia. She's just answering my question of what I said before. I got a whole bag of these, all different sizes. There's the white ones. There's this pretty burgundy one. Let me just plug my glue gun in though so I can glue that in there. We're almost done. You can add leaves in here too if you want. So this can kind of overlap the sign a little bit because it's the same. It's got the big dots there. That kind of looks nice, overlapping it a little bit. That. I think I'm going to cut one more piece for a bow tie. I'm just going to kind of eyeball it. Maybe I'll measure it quick. I got stuff all over my room here. Almost done, guys. Vanya, you got the kit, didn't you, honey? Didn't you get this kit? I thought I mailed you one.
Yes, ma'am.
Are you making yours now, or are you just watching?
Absolutely not. I'm on the inside right now.
Okay.
And then I gotta get up in the morning and do my witch one because I'm super excited about that one.
Yeah,
Like
I can't wait to do the witch.
I know. This one was super cute too.
I love it. I've actually had my sign since last year. I got my sign from Jane last year. I just never used it.
Oh.
Yeah.
It's really cute.
It is cute.
I don't like the way that one's sitting, but if I keep messing with it, it's going to drive me nuts. So.
I know. You gotta know when to walk away sometimes.
Yeah, I walked about 10 minutes ago.
Who is talking outside? Hold on a minute. I hear voices outside. I think it might be my neighbors. Yeah, it's my neighbors. I'm like, who the heck is because my window of my craft room is, my deck is right out back. And my neighbors are like right next door, so they're very loud. I'm like, who the heck is talking? All right. Let me glue my pumpkin in. I gotta put something up there too. I don't know. I really want to use some more of that truck ribbon though. I think I might just do some truck ribbon by itself. There's nothing wrong with that. And this is not staying. I'm gonna have to kind of press underneath without burning myself here. There we go. My little pumpkin. Don't you dare fall off on me. Stay right there. I think I'm just going to do, like I said, some truck ribbon by itself. There's nothing wrong with that because I really like this truck ribbon and I want to use more of it. I'm just going to put 2 of these together because we got the truck and the sign, so we're doing all sorts of crazy things with ribbon tonight. I wonder if I can put, yeah, I kind of like that. I wonder, maybe I'll put another pumpkin there. Let me see. Why isn't this staying? Oh my goodness, that made me mad. It came right off. Hold on. I think I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to try to glue it right to these pipe cleaners here. Hold on. This is why I hate hot glue. Sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't. Sorry, guys. I just don't want my pumpkin to fall off. Stay. What am I going to put there? Hold on a minute. Let me think. I could probably put another pumpkin, but there'd be 2 pumpkins next to each other. But why not? Why not put another pumpkin there? I'm going to put another pumpkin there. Because I have one, and I'm going to put it there. So there. You guys tell I'm getting tired. I'm just talking to myself here. Because this is a happy harvest wreath, so you can't have too many pumpkins. Ta-da! I got the glue all over me. Well, I think we're done, ladies. I'm done anyway.
Looks awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Should I put another pumpkin anywhere? I think 2 pumpkins is enough. I was going to put leaves and stuff in, but I don't want to go too crazy. Maybe I will stick a leaf or something in over there. Let me see. What do I have over here? Then again, sometimes you got to know when to stop, too. And so sometimes you don't know when to stop. Don't I have some leaves over here? Hold on. What do I have here? I just want to see how that looks with maybe a little leaf in there. Hold on. And then I promise I'll let you go. I promise. That's it. I threw a little leaf over there. Why not?
Good.
I'm done. I'm
Beautiful.
done for the night. Thank you.
Thank you.
Although it could look entirely different in an hour if I decide to do something else to it. So we'll see what the picture looks like when I post it.
Super cute.
Have a good night, ladies.
You too, guys.
Good night.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
The video will be ready tomorrow. Good night, guys.